Hello, fellow humans and weirdos alike. Oh my god, this angle's gonna irritate me. Today I'm going to do another Valentine's look, and I started off with my base, and the lip that I'm trying to make work with it, the sweater is a lot lighter than I realized. And then I'm gonna take this really cute, like, tissue paper and tuck it in here almost like a handkerchief for the Instagram post that I'm gonna take, which will be really cute, hopefully. But since I'm literally pretty much almost done, finally for once my video will not be extremely long. Also, I finally get to try out the Morphe and Jeffree Star collab sponges, because I never even have tried a Morphe sponge or anything Morphe up till now. And so it's kind of cool, dear God, it's kind of cool to try it for once. And I never ended up getting any of the brushes, and it's because I didn't really like the design for the handles. I don't, as pink as I am today, this is definitely not usually what I opt for. And so, if I could turn this into something a bit more grungy, I'd love to, and I'm going to try to, but there's only so, pink can only look so smoky and grungy. So, but we're going to try. I tried to recreate the angle I did last time for the last video I did, because last time it looked really nice, but now it just has stopped again. But, so I'm actually using a different palette. I've had this for a while. It's just from Forever 21, so it's nothing like extraordinary, but it actually is pretty nice, especially the mattes that are in here. So, because I've tried to hold off on using the Alien palette and tried to use other things on here that I know you guys can obviously get a hold of. And this I know is still there, so. But see, it has a lot of like kickback in the pan, and then also there's a good amount of fallout. But since I'm using a bony color to just kind of even out my skin, my eyelid, and the skin tone in it to try to kick back redness, because I'm not adding redness today for once, unlike the other Instagram post I did on for a Valentine's look. Today instead I'm doing much more pink. So I'm just taking, so in the actual palette, it's basically all just, it is basically all nudes. But I'm taking, not the actual white, but I'm taking, well actually I am, some of it, but then I'm taking the second one and some of that. And I'm mixing them very lightly and then basically dusting off most of it and just patting it into my eye, like I've done a million times, with the Eco Tools brush set that I ended up getting. You can get it at Walmart. They're actually really nice. So, and I think they work pretty well. And for the price, I think if I remember correctly, these were about $15, $16 maybe. So they're really nice. I'm sorry if you can hear my entire family out there in the living room doing stuff. They're pretty loud, a lot of us. Also, my room's door shakes every time someone opens or closes a door, so that's what you keep hearing. Okay. I actually absolutely hate this lip combo. I thought it was going to look pretty okay, but since I used a metallic-y type shade, it's Urban Decay Vice Liquid Lip, the waterproof long-lasting liquid lip, and the waterproof part is extremely correct. These are incredibly hard to get off. In Trivial, it's really pretty, and it is comfortable like it says. However, it is so shiny that you can just see your lips no matter what you do. Like, my lips don't normally look that dry, and it's very irritating to me. Okay, so now that that's patted in and all that, I always end up starting off these videos with like a bone color on my eyelid to cancel everything out, and every time. So today I'm actually only going to be using, hopefully, I may use 4, but 3. 2 of which are Eco Tools, and then this one is a Wet n Wild brush. It's just like a packer. Pretty thin. Don't even know what they're talking about. And I'm going to take, what was I going to take? This. It's Diva from Jeffree Star, and I'm going to take a tiny bit. I love using his liquid lips for eyeshadows. It's so easy and so quick. It's a mini one. I got the quality bundle a long time ago when it came out. It's not too long ago, but it's been a while. And it's such a cute bundle. I still have the box, because the box is so cool that I don't know who would even bother getting rid of it. But, and I'm just going to do, and I'll show you in a second, the middle part of my eye on each. So you really don't need to do, like, too much product. There's a baby in our house. That's the smell. She's not, like, degrading some 8-year-old about smelling bad. Going to need a bit more because it stained the brush, but sadly this brush is also kind of pink naturally, so I didn't realize that I hadn't grabbed as much. Also, of all the colors, this one, for some odd reason, and I've had the entire bundle for the same amount of time, only this one seemed to dry out weirdly. Like, it's kind of dried out along the top, and it's so interesting. Every pink I've ever owned, unless it's a gloss, has always dried out so quickly. See? There's the baby. And then my mom giving some sort of pep talk. My brother talking about sponsors. Okay, so just the middle on each side. Sorry, I'm fixing my eyelashes. And it's not a lot at all. However, I'm now going to go in and I'm going to, with this small, it's so small. Like, that's my finger and my gigantic nails. And I'm going to buff the sides with a brown shade from here. And it's the warm tone because I'm trying to keep, that one. Because I'm trying to get everything a bit warmer. Because once I put pink on my skin, it starts to bring out the red in my skin, obviously. Of course, that's going to happen. And so, all of a sudden, I kind of look a bit more bronze than usual. So, but I'm just going to buff out the edges. I'm actually, for once, doing a halo eye. I have never done a halo eye. Actually, I take that back. When I met Jeffree, I did a halo eye. So, I kid. And this brown, I'm buffing in really pretty harsh so that it kind of melts in and gradiates in, like, outwards. Because I want the pink to be the main, like, thing people see on the eye. And same thing on the middle. You don't have to change the amount of product. Grab a good amount, because you still want it to be buffed out on this side too. So if you don't, then it's not gonna. Oh, and then there's the warranties. Interesting conversations happen in my house. And besides me, I have 6 other siblings in this house. So, I have a lot going on constantly here. And my mom's a crazy Jewish woman, so she's very loud. That's why she has no conception of volume. And I grabbed a bit more and I'm deepening this side, because if you can see the comparison, it's a bit more, like, not vibrant. Because I wanted this to be a bit wearable, not the actual lip, which the lip I may end up changing. I actually even grabbed a gloss because I knew that the minute I grabbed that Urban Decay, I was like, I'm gonna end up not liking that. And now I'm gonna just buff it very, very slightly into my lower lash line. And all the way. And since this is a brown, it's really not, honestly, on any skin tone unless you're like really, really pale, it's not going to be too noticeable. And then if you're any darker than like Jackie Aina, if you know who that is, look. If you don't know who that is, look her up. I won't subscribe anymore if you're white, but you know, that was tea and a bit of shade. I actually did a humongous rant in her comment section underneath one of her latest videos, and it was because of a couple comments she made on her Twitter, and afterwards I ended up unfollowing her because I feel like her consistently talking about like being inclusive, makeup brands being inclusive, this and that, then she herself should not be tweeting about that fact that, and I pretty much quote, I'm not exactly saying this, but it's pretty close, that white people do not know how to apologize. And the basis of that was the fact that she got bumped into, I believe, on the subway, if I'm remembering correctly. It was very offensive to me as a viewer, because whether or not I'm privileged because I'm white or whatever, I think that she needs to take into account that that kind of makes her look a bit stupid, because she constantly talks about inclusivity, and then she turns around and makes these weird racist, it's still racist, comments towards Caucasians, or just white people in general, because I actually make a humongous scene and always apologize like crazy when I bump into someone, whether or not they even deserve it, if it was their fault, if it was my fault. I always apologize. I just thought it was so weird that of all the things she could have even said, honestly, that was what she went with. It was just very weird to me. And I'm sorry if you're offended and you love Jackie and stuff like that. I do get liking her because I used to love her. But once her like consistent like white people comments and just comments on the fact that she's not gonna get into it kept coming around, I was kind of like, you know what, I don't like you as much anymore. I was subscribed to her for a while, not when she first started obviously, but I mean for at least a good half a year, at least 6 months, at least. Don't know why I said half a year and then I also translated it, you know. Okay, so now I'm going to take the sponge, and I did it to do my foundation, and it's much firmer than the one I have. And the one I have is from Riley Rose, and it's a lot cuter than the normal beauty blenders in my opinion, because it was like this cool like blue turquoisey with pink like whoosh washed, and it was really cute. And it worked. And there's no product on this, it's just a bit stained now because it's pink. I'm just blending underneath my eye, on the off chance there was any fallout from the brown. And since it's brown, it's obviously not going to really do much to my under eye. But this one's a lot firmer. And so, wherever I have dry patches, especially up here, I'm not going to let you see, sorry. I also have fine lines, which I'm pretty sure you just kind of saw. I'm looking into my vanity every now and again, so sorry about that. It caught a bit more because it's a bit firmer, but then I also realized that although this is stained a bit more, my foundation looks a lot more skin-like. It doesn't look like it's sitting on top of my skin, and I haven't even used setting spray yet because I wasn't going to. My contour, which I kind of bronzed, I didn't really contour today, but kind of stuck weird in certain areas. I noticed that. But besides that, it blended my foundation out so much better than those normal brushes that it was absolutely insane. Like, it's definitely a game changer, that's for sure. I'm not gonna bother using the two small ones because they're not really gonna do much. But now I'm gonna go in with a tiny bit more, and I'm actually kind of scared to do this, but it's because I have OCD and both sides are not at all the same when it comes to pigmentation on the pink. I cannot begin to tell you what they're talking about. I have no clue. I think my mother's about to come into my room too, so I'm sorry if I end up having to all of a sudden start talking to someone over that way, because that's where my door is. But now I'm just trying to kind of bring the pink back just a little bit more, because this pink is very pigmented, so you really don't have to do too much to get this pink to come back. But I'm not going to take any eyeshadow this time from the other palette. Oh, and also, that palette doesn't have an actual name, so keep that in mind. It just is from Forever 21. I'll show you in a second, because it actually, I would totally recommend it for someone who's starting, like, to get into makeup, like someone that doesn't really start, like, want to start spending, say, $16 on 3 sponges, or $15 on a couple brushes. This palette is actually pretty decent, and it's mattes, and so it's pretty usable for, it's pretty user-friendly, unless you're darker than Jackie, I know. But it's literally called Matte Eyeshadow Palette, and it's like that pink foily mauve color, kind of like my sweatshirt, which is also Forever 21. And it is so cute. I'm just kind of messing around with the eyeshadow a bit more. Okay, so, crazily enough, we are actually towards the end of this video, but I don't know if you guys remember, but I talked about how I don't exactly enjoy using Pink Chill anymore from the Jeffree Star Platinum Ice Color, and I don't still, but today I'm going to, just because the look kind of calls for it, I think. Since it's just all already kind of pinky, you might as well. And I'm actually going to take the small brush again. I'm going to put it, I'm going to dip it in because I'm going to do inner corner. And I'm going to put some on where the pink is on my eyelid, because I really want the whole halo effect to come through. And this, I mean, these eyeshadow, not eyeshadows, dear. Highlighters don't really need wetting at the moment, because also if you set your face with setting spray, afterwards it'll come back, it'll come to life, and you'll realize that you probably put on too much, because the pink shell especially has like the sparkly flecks throughout it. So if you're not careful, you also get like all these different sparkly flecks all over your eye. Since I'm kind of keeping this to 2 different areas, and I'm not going into the actual above onto my inner corner, like onto my eyelid inner corner. I'm sticking specifically to that part, which is the actual inner corner, and now I'm gonna go into the pink. Oh yeah, that actually looks really nice. I was scared it wasn't going to look that nice, but honestly, Jeffree Star never seems to disappoint. Also, he's coming out with tracksuits, which I'm so excited about, because although I'm not athletic in the slightest, and I do nothing that calls for like a tracksuit, I really want one, because he wears stuff like that like all the time, and so for him to come out with his own is really fun. And then also his metal straws, those would be really cool. The metal straws, I'll tell you prices if you don't know, are, if I remember correctly, I think he had said either 15 or 20, and then the tracksuit altogether is about 100. It was 45 for the bottoms, and it was like, I think 55 or 50, because I also have to keep in mind tax and stuff, for the top, because they're sold separately, because why not? But that means you can also mix and match, which is pretty cool. And there goes the tissue. It's okay. And now what we're going to do is take ice cold onto this gigantic fluffy brush, and I'm actually going to use this to highlight, because I've been wondering how it'll work, because it's a lot sturdier than my Makeup Forever one, and it's amazing, and it's expensive, I got it at Sephora, as it was, and that's not to brag, I regret that. It definitely is a bit more flimsy, and doesn't go exactly where I want it, and this one does seem to be. But these Eco Tool brushes are actually really amazing. These are like the first ever Not these ones exactly, but this brand was the first set of brushes I ever got. And they are really, really good. However, I have to be careful on the tip of my nose. Guess I didn't take that into effect. But it still worked out fine. Okay, and then we're just gonna do the other side really quick. Thankfully, this video is not gonna be like almost 30 minutes long, for once. Of course, the video is gonna be 20 minutes long still, because I talk, and I don't just focus and do the makeup, but I kind of talk because I feel like it'd be nicer. It's a nicer video to have at least something there while you're just watching someone blend, since I don't edit. Which I was thinking about getting iMovie, but even though like that's horrendous editing on its own, I actually don't think it would be really worth it. Because I actually really do enjoy my videos a lot more. Just how they are now. I don't know about you guys, obviously. And I'm definitely taking off this lip once I'm done. Like pictures and stuff. I highlight my chin, and then I also highlight my Adam's apple for fun. Just because I think it's kind of funny. Because even though I do that, people always think I'm a woman still. And I'm so flat-chested, and I don't understand usually. But now that I'm incredibly highlighted, a little too much actually, if I do say so myself. Oh yeah, definitely too much. That's a white streak for you. But I'm going to set it and forget it. I hate when people say that, set and forget it. Forget it. I wish it wasn't a thing anymore, but sometimes it still is. I'm also going to add gloss over. It's a pink sheer gloss for the pictures, so just keep that in mind in case you want to recreate this like to the T. But I'm going to go in Mario Badescu first because I forgot to put that on this morning, and I regret that because I also use it as like a morning time like mist. And now I can use my all day spray by Contour Cosmetics, and this actually is really good. I talked about this before, and it does really work. That was directly onto my lips. That was not intentional. Now I'm literally never going to be able to get off this lip. Yay. Marvelous. Just absolutely extraordinary. I would sit here and wait for it to dry, but last time I didn't, and people still thought it looked nice, so I'm going to grab you now. So here is the finished look, and once it dries and stuff, you'll get to see on like Instagram and stuff that it looks a lot better, but let's see, it's more, at least that's more of a halo eye than I've usually done. But see, now it looks like I have like no foundation on. Once it dries again, it will. Okay, bye.